A badly managed Shopify store migration can cost you years of Google rankings all in a single afternoon, not because of the platform choice, but because Google loses everything it has spent years learning about you. If you've built up organic traffic over the years, those visitors are a valuable asset for your business. Retaining this traffic is more fragile during a move than you may realize. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly how to move your e-commerce store to Shopify without losing your rankings, whether you should consider a redesign during your migration, how to handle changing URLs, and what to do after launch. So then you can confidently move to Shopify and focus on growing your sales instead of having to put in work to gain back your lost rankings. To start, I'm going to explain how Google sees your website and how this affects the migration. Think of your store as two separate layers. The first is the foundation Google trusts: your web addresses, the wording on your pages, the way they're structured. This is where your rankings live, and a migration has to protect it. The second layer is the design your customers see: the layout, the colours, the photography, and the overall feel. You're free to improve this layer. The mistake that wrecks migrations is treating those two layers as one and changing everything at once. During a migration, you need to protect the foundation, and you can do almost anything you like with the design on top of it. Here's something you may not realise. If you change the content of your pages when migrating your e-commerce store to Shopify, you can lose all the Google rankings that you've worked so hard to build up over the years. This raises an important question. Should you redesign your store when you migrate it over to Shopify? There are, in fact, elements of your page design that don't contribute to your Google ranking, and you can freely change these elements during a migration. This includes the layout, the imagery, the navigation, and the overall feel of the site. None of that carries your rankings, so a beautiful new design wrapped around a carefully preserved foundation is both safe and often exactly what the business needs. If a page ranks well, keep its web address mapped and redirected. Keep its wording, and keep its page title much as it is, because that's the content that Google is rewarding. If you change all of that at once and your rankings dip, you'll have no way of knowing which change caused it. On the other hand, if your old foundation is weak or missing entirely, the migration is the moment to put it right. Say your old site never had SEO foundations put in place. For instance, no proper heading structure. You're not preserving anything by leaving it out, so build it properly when you migrate to your new site. The same goes for thin content. You can't lose ranking value you never had, so adding a signal that was missing is only going to be beneficial. To summarise, if your current design is dated, off-brand, not converting, or if no SEO was ever built in properly, you should add a redesign to your migration. But if your current site already ranks and converts well, and the move is more about a better platform, not a better site, it's best to keep those foundational changes to a minimum and improve them later when you can track the changes. That brings us on to the next topic. Within the heart of your site's foundation is your store's URLs. These are the individual web addresses of every page you have. Google has a record of those addresses, other sites link to them, and customers may have them bookmarked. Every ranking you hold is tied to a specific address. The problem is that when you move to Shopify, the web address of every page is likely to change, because Shopify structures its URLs in its own unique way. So a product that used to live at one address now lives at a different one. If you do nothing about that when you launch your new site, the old address shows the 404 page not found error, and essentially Google finds a dead end where a ranking page used to be. When Google sees the page no longer exists, it will stop ranking it. Overlooking this is the single biggest mistake you can make during your Shopify migration. However, it can be avoided, and I'll explain how. The fix is putting in place a redirect. This is a permanent signpost that tells Google and anyone following an old link that this page has now moved and here is its new home. Set one up for every page before you launch, and all the trust attached to the old address flows through to the new one. Your ranking carries over and your visitor lands directly on the new address. The kind of redirect you want to use is called a 301 redirection, which means the move is permanent. I'll explain how you can set these up and the correct sequence to do it in. First, before you change anything, make a complete list of every page from your current site. Every product, every category, blog post, everything. Second, once you know the URLs from your new Shopify store, create a spreadsheet which maps each old address to its new one. Third, set the redirects up in Shopify before your new site is live. You can do this in your Shopify admin under Content, Menus, then URL Redirects. Download the sample CSV file from Shopify, copy your mapped URLs over, then import the whole lot at once using the Import button. At launch, when your real domain switches over to the new store, every one of those redirects is already in place, catching the old links and sending them to the right new pages. That means there's no scramble on launch day, and no window where your links are broken. During a migration, once the site is launched, the work isn't quite over yet. Did you know that when you launch any new website, it can take Google weeks to even find all the pages on your new site, let alone start showing them in search? If you're migrating an e-commerce store to Shopify, that could be a disaster when you need Google to read the updated site structure and page content as soon as possible to preserve your rankings. What you need to do is actively invite Google back into your site, and you can use your sitemap to do this. A sitemap is a single file that lists every page on your site you want Google to find. Think of it as a map you hand to Google, saying, "Here is everything, please come and take a look." Shopify creates and updates this for you automatically. To find it, type in your domain followed by /sitemap.xml. You need to submit that map to Google using a free tool called Google Search Console. First, create an account and verify that you own the site. Open the sitemap section, type in sitemap.xml and submit it. To speed up your most important pages even more, navigate to URL inspection. Type in the URLs of your top pages and hit the Request Indexing button. During a migration, submitting your sitemap and pages for indexing is how you tell Google there's a lot on your website that's changed and to come and reread it now. So here's a summary of how to move your store to Shopify without losing your rankings. Think of your store as 2 layers: the foundation Google trusts, which you protect, and the design your customers see, which you're free to improve. Be honest about whether a redesign earns its place. Keep the pages that already rank exactly as they are, and where the old foundation was thin or missing, build it properly as you go. Before you launch, set up 301 redirections for every page from your old site, so no link ever lands on a dead end. The moment you're live, hand Google your sitemap through Search Console, so it rereads everything quickly, and push your most important pages to the front of the queue using site indexing. If you do all of this, your rankings will come through the move intact, but get it wrong and they may drop substantially. Good luck with your site migration, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below.